The NBA playoffs continue on ESPN and ABC tomorrow night with two conference semifinal games. Actions tip off at 5 Eastern on ESPN as Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavericks look to get back on track at home when they host Carmelo Anthony and the Denver Nuggets. Then at 8 Eastern on ABC, MVP LeBron James and the Cavaliers face the Hawks. The NBA playoffs on ESPN, ABC, and also on ESPN360.com tomorrow. 20 laps in here at Darlington Raceway, and Kyle Busch is our leader. Let's check in his pits with Mike.
And Kyle Busch started on the pole, so he is a bit insulated from these early race incidents. Still, after that lap one spin by Brad Keselowski, Busch was a little bit critical of the track conditions.
I think NASCAR might ever want to listen, and maybe we could put some rubber up there before we all go wreck each other.
And Kyle says the racetrack still has not come in completely, in particular in the high groove. He's trying to avoid that part of the racetrack because simply there's no more rubber up there.
Tell you what, you just got to lay the rubber down yourself. You can't, and NASCAR's not going to do it for you. They just need to run laps, really understand their car right now, and above all, guys, do not overdrive the car. That wall's not going to move if you hit it.
They will sneak that groove higher and higher. You see the rubber not quite to the wall. They'll take that groove all the way to the wall if they run long enough. But you don't want to be the first guy jumping up there putting that rubber down.
There comes the second place car, Carl Edwards, and we had told you when they rolled off with the green flag he was having radio issues. Dave?
And Doc, he's been able to tell his crew through hand signals that his car is loose in turns 3 and 4. They're not sure if they're going to replace the radio or not because he can communicate with them by hand and they can talk to him on the radio. But if they do want to replace the unit, it's sitting right here, a new radio unit and a harness. Crew Chief Daryl Morrow has it right in front of him. They'll put it in the car if they have significant time during a pit stop. But if they only have quick pit stops, they may not even mess with it.
Randy, Rusty, how blind are you here, not being able to hear your spotter?
Oh, it's something to aggravate the heck out of you. It really will. But, you know, this guy's good enough that he knows when he needs to pit. He knows that now probably if the caution flag comes out again, there are 24 laps in this, he'll hit pit road and automatically put tires on. But you are flying blind.
You see this 38 car right here. He made up some ground on this 6 of Darnell and this 16 car of Matt Kenseth. They kind of got together a little bit and slowed up way up in turn 2, and he just blasted right by him.
Well, just like we talked about in our countdown show with Cale Yarborough, said momentum off these turns, and he really used that little bit of momentum. And you're going to see that a lot. You're going to see it off at turn 4 tonight and off at turn 2.
He certainly has momentum in the series or in the season thus far. 4 top 10 finishes in a row and 6 in the last 7 races. Now back up front, the 18 car of Kyle Busch, starting to lap some cars, including some pretty good cars. We told you that one of the veterans here, Jason Keller, had to go to a backup car, and now that backup car has cost him, Dave.
Jason's going to need a backup motor after the end of tonight. Apparently right now not sounding good. According to the crew, possible motor issue. Crew Chief Todd Gordon told him to keep going, and if we get a caution long enough, well, actually when we get a caution, we'll bring it down pit road, we'll look under the hood, see if it's something simple, and hope it's not something terminal.
Looks like it's something important, though, because that thing's not running on the straightaway at all. You can see right there how much Matt Kenseth just blew by him on the straightaway.
He qualified so well at Bristol 3rd, and then they had engine trouble early on. He finished the race on 5 cylinders. That cost him possibly a top 10 there. So struggles for the South Carolina driver.
Yeah, he's got to hope a caution comes out pretty quick right now so they can get in and work on that thing. There's other cars out there with body damage on them, and they're hoping for a caution too.
Battle for 10th position, the 47, Michael McDowell, who had that great top 10 run at Richmond last week, finishing 8th. Behind him, Stephen Wallace, who tied his career best finish here at 5th a year ago.
I see a little damage on that right front fender, Stephen Wallace's car, from that earlier contact.
Let's see if we get a little better camera shot on that. I tell you what, he's got that right front corner bent in pretty good on that car.
Yeah,
and that's really causing it.
That's going to hurt the downforce quite a bit.
Yeah, whenever that air dam gets off the ground, it's really going to slow it down. But it looks like the air dam's pretty good underneath the headlight door. But that area right out to the corner, that really kills downforce.
And down, tight all the way around, 3 and 4, right 1 and 2. He puts the pressure on you, let him go, we'll fix your car up. I'm bouncing my front down there at 3 and 4 a little bit.
That was some good advice right there. Let's just race the racetrack, let him go, and let us get it fixed. And if we can stay out of another wreck, maybe we can get this thing fixed up to the end of the road.
Fourth position, the 33 car, by the way, that is the Kevin Harvick Incorporated car. The reason it is all black, they did not have a sponsor for this race. They've had other sponsors throughout the year, but the car painted purely black with a white 33. And that's Ryan Newman trying to hold off the challenge of Jason Leffler for fourth.
Leffler's car has been really good the longer he runs. It seems like he's got his car set up for these longer runs, and now he's making up the ground. He's going to take this spot away from Newman, looks like.
I'll tell you what, Andy, it seems like every single week this 38 car just gets stronger and stronger. And I heard him before the race say the car's been real consistent from week to week, and it's really helped him build some confidence in his driving style and maybe just drive his car a little harder than he's been doing in the past.
Leffler has had 3 consecutive top 10 finishes here at Darlington. Here's the 88 making a move back. He went all the way back to 42nd spot after that spin and pit stop here on lap 1.
He just takes the 16th spot from Scott Speed right here. He's just methodically moving up through there, patiently working his way up and racing the racetrack, doing a good job.
You know, the thing I like right now, what I'm seeing, I don't see the guys really bunched up real tight. And when that happens, they can race this track and they can just put laps down instead of really driving over their head and getting in that wall. They're doing a great job out there right now.
32 laps in of 147 at Darlington, South Carolina. Kyle Busch has led them all since the drop of the green flag. We've had 2 cautions for 4 laps. It is Busch and Edwards, the top 2.
The Diamond Hill Plywood 200 at Darlington Raceway, South Carolina for the NASCAR Nationwide Series, and you are looking at the fight for the lead. Kyle Busch in the 18 has led all of those 38 laps so far. But his championship rivals, his rival in the race tonight, that's Carl Edwards you're riding with.
Carl Edwards is staying right in his racetracks. And we heard Carl in the pre-race interview talk about trying to get through the first part of this race, unlike he did last year where he blew a right front tire and had some problems, and it cost him a championship, he does believe. He's doing a good job.
Remember that Carl can hear his crew and his spotter, but they cannot hear him as far as making adjustments on this car. And here he goes, looking for the lead in turn 3. Wow, Kyle almost got tangled up with that lap car.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what, Carl's obviously got a super fast race car. Kyle Busch, both of these 2 guys are the cream of the crop right now. You see Kyle's got his hand out the window gesturing towards the car that got into him a little bit there. But Carl's got a great race car, and he's going to lead some laps here and get those points.
Just remember this in case this turns out to be a trend later, too. Short run, long run. Kyle good in the get-go. Longer we run in this green flag run. Carl is out front as they're into some pretty heavy lap traffic.
Yep.
Let's check out this lead change once more. Down into turn 3 again with the lap car playing a role.
Yeah, you see Carl gets deep into that corner. Boy, look at that, man. Hardly ever see anyone run over Kyle Busch. He's usually doing the pushing.
Yeah. That's Brian Scott in the 10 car. Obviously not expecting Kyle to slow as much as he did, but Kyle trying to give Carl leeway.
Got these 2 guys trying to operate through traffic here. Looks like it's going to get interesting.